Okay, September, October, and it should say November. Some tomatoes are ready in September, so I brought a bunch in, and I make some spaghetti sauce, salsa sauce, whatever you want to call it. There's a few peppers that are ready. So, some herbs there, celery. So, we just make a freezer sauce. That makes enough for us. Now the tomato plants that I got from the buddy at work that I said make the giant tomatoes, this is one of them here. I'll show you later in the video. So, on with the peppers. These peppers inside are just growing prolifically. There's peppers everywhere. And they just keep coming and coming and coming. And there's this side of the greenhouse, there's 14 plants, and I believe over on this side there's 3 plants. So 17 plants, and so far I believe I've got, I think 137 was the last count of peppers. I threw some more lettuce in here. It's always nice to have fresh lettuce. It's a bok choy I let go to seed. Here's the zucchini plant outside. It still puts out one of these every week. It's just doing really good. Cucumber plant is doing very well. These pickle cucumber plants, so that's as large as you want to let them get. And this we thought was a mung bean. Turns out it's a soybean. So we're eating them anyways. So that's that. So over to the regular beans that I'm growing on this old frame here with the chicken wire. You can see their yellow beans are hanging out there. Easy pickings, as I say. Tomato plants back inside to the peppers. This like a week later. Look at these things. They're just massive. Just grow, 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 grow. The conditions are just phenomenal, I guess. The right food, just using a general all-purpose hydroponic fertilizer. It was the celery there was growing good. The onions are growing good. I picked all the beets and planted a second crop of beets and carrots in there too. So tomatoes outside, cherry tomatoes, watermelon here. One decided it would set, so we're looking forward to that. And these are the tomato plants that give me those big tomatoes. Those will turn into the big ones there. I put the tape on them early. That's it there, see? That's what they'll turn into. Okay, now I did a crop of basil here. It's growing great. It's a robin tomato. This watermelon plant, got all kinds of watermelons, but none of them actually set into a watermelon except for this one. That one there, later videos you'll see, starts to get large. Our potatoes in the pot are doing well. We dug that trench out behind the greenhouse and filled it with a bunch of the smaller leftover eyeing potatoes. All the tops have died off, so we'll be digging them. As you can see, we did a lot of weeding back here. Yeah, oh well. You can't do everything, but the potatoes are there, and we'll get at them soon. Now the raccoons finished off my corn, so I just dug this front garden right out, took everything out of it, all the old pea plants, all the corn. These tomato plants are doing well. They got nice tomatoes on them still. The sunflowers here are the Russian giants, and they're really living up to their name. So I put a second crop of peas in this dirt here. And I'll just show you how big that leaf is. So back into the peppers. Now you come in and these peppers, there's so many peppers on them that it's crazy. They just keep going and going, and you come in and they're so heavy with peppers that the branches, well, there's one, they break off and they'll lay there. So I'll come in today. This is what I'm doing. I'm picking peppers off the broken branches, and there, look, these are all just too heavy, and that's what was on the branches that I get that mark once in a while too. on peppers, but we just cut it off and eat it anyways. So as you can see, like, this unreal. It's growing and growing and growing. So there's a bok choy I let go to seed, so we have seeds next year. That never really did develop into our romaine lettuce, but that's what it was supposed to be. And this is the wild Matthew tomato, the small cherry tomato that I planted out here. It's just taken over this whole area. As you can see, it's just one huge plant. It's growing all through this tree here, all through these snowball bushes. It's covered over top of my strawberries there. That's like 3 weeks later. The peppers are still growing. The cucumbers were finished. Those were my seed ones that were in that pot. But as you can see, the peppers are still going and going and going. There's just lots and lots of them. Now, we just come in and pick at will. I've been giving them away to family and neighbors and stuff. They just keep going. So we just keep eating them too. I love green peppers. I walk out here and just pick one and eat it. Yeah. Just go all through here, and it's just full of peppers. Everything else is doing good. I got some more lettuce down here. I put some more radishes in, a bit of spinach in there. Lemon tree is doing fairly well. I put a few more beets in. I did a few more lemon splices off and stuck them in these pots. I stuck one in the ground over here. It decided to flower. So everything looks good. Second crop of carrots. There's the kale. It's just grown beautifully. Yeah, oh, these are yellow beets. It's first time growing them. They turned out to be really nice. This is a few weeks later. This is a lettuce I let go to seed. There's all my seeds for next year, for that sort of a Boston type lettuce. Got it from my friend. He says it's a Portuguese lettuce. Okay, this is the flood drain system. This stuff worked all summer like clockwork. It's just unreal. I really, really, really enjoy the way these bell siphons work. They start, they drain, and they start all over again. Okay, the second crop of peas. This is like the end of September, maybe even the middle of October. I can't really remember, but the few peas that did come up are producing pretty good. Some peas there for like late September. It might be the 1st of October. I can't really remember, but the tomato plants in the background, I'm starting to get a late blight on them, so I think I'm going to have to get rid of them. But the sunflowers decided to get the heads on them, and they're huge. They're like 12, 14 inches across. Very, very big. Look at that. Just nice and round. Just full of seeds. The birds will get these seeds. We don't really eat them at all. So we just put them out for the birds later on. So there's another shot of those tomatoes. They're finally getting big. There's a cicada bug. Oh, back on that last tomato plant, there was a green frog. I forgot all about it. So anyways, I got the blight on the tomatoes, so I decided I would pick them all. As you can see, the roots were just going crazy, great guns, growing down into the pipe that they were sitting on, where they were getting their water from in there. So I put some, I left this tomato plant. It didn't look too bad. I put some more basil in there, and like I said, here's the one watermelon that decided to set on there. So you can see the roots are growing right down into the pipe. So we'll get this all cleaned up and get it ready. Look at that, just roots everywhere. So I'll cover all these up and go from there. So there's a mass of roots there. These landscaper's cloth that I made these bags out of to go inside the milk crates. They're, well, they worked great. They didn't really rot or anything like that. So I'll just put them back into the milk crates, and I'll reuse them again next year. No problem. But I'll just show you how the roots grew in these things. Like, this is the pot in the bottom that set down in the pipe where it wicked the water up. Now it is just a massive roots in there, and then big roots too, not just something small. I had to get the snips and cut them out of there. Like, usually you can just hair roots, you can pull them out, but these were big. So there it is. I'll just fill that with dirt, use it again next year. Okay, I'll break this apart. Oh, I go get a shovel first, and I'll break it apart with the shovel. Can't break it apart with my hands because it's just brute bound so much that that's why the plants did very well this year. And if it wasn't for the blight, they'd still be going. Look, I just gotta cut that in half. There's hardly any room for dirt there. It's just massive roots. Okay. Now, I'll go back. These are 2 pepper plants I planted outside the same time as I planted those ones in the greenhouse. They're just getting peppers now. This is where that little cherry tomato, the Wild Matthew, was growing. I pulled out 75% of it and left this bunch over here just because it's still putting out tomatoes. As you can see from the video, there's lots of leaves around, so this is like late October. It's starting to get fall. I think we already had 1 frost. So yeah, so this is a week later. We had our first little bit of snow. You can see it's just a little bit, but it was cold last night. It was in like -3, -4. So in the greenhouse, yeah, everything looks great. Carrots are good, kale's good. Even this another Wild Matthew that surprised us inside the greenhouse. Beets are doing fine. There's the lettuce. Lettuce is doing really good. Radishes. Peppers didn't even get phased. Look at that. Growing good. Even some of the outside plants we put inside. This plant looks like it got a little bit of frost, but you know, the peppers are still good and hardy, so I'm not too concerned. There's some red ones halfway through their cycle, so I'm not real concerned. So, a little bit of snow that day. Let's go. This is a week later. We got a good dumping of snow, maybe an inch, but it was cold. It was like -6 with a wind chill. I think they said the wind chill was maybe -9. So, you know, we got quite a bit of snow, and it's stuck everywhere. So, let's head out to the greenhouse and check it out. So I was glad I got everything outside cleaned up and ready for the winter. So it's just inside the greenhouse here that is any concern at all now as far as vegetables are concerned. But look at this, the kale still nice and crisp, firm. Carrots all look good. Even this cherry tomato back in here. And these tomatoes, no frost at all, they're still good and firm. So it's all looking good. Lettuce didn't even wilt a little bit. So peppers are still there, growing good. This one looks like it got a little bit, but the fruit is still good on it, so I'm not super concerned. But colder days are ahead, eh? So yeah, it's nice. There's more over here hanging everywhere. Like, these plants just keep growing and growing and growing. So I'll let them grow as long as they can. Fresh produce, we don't mind. Yeah, even back in there. Nice. Nice looking peppers. Yeah, nice. Even back in here. A couple more red ones starting to turn. Nice, very nice. So we got 3 or 4 really cold nights, and the frost finally got into the greenhouse. I came in and I'm starting to clean up. There's some peppers left on these plants, so I really didn't want to waste them. So we'll strip out this whole one side with the pepper plants, and as you can see the tops here, the frost has got those new buds up there, so it's time. It's the 1st of November, so I ripped all the plants out of here except for a couple. I thought I'd leave. They looked kind of nice and they had peppers on them, so let's see how long I could afford to waste a couple like this one here, just hanging there on a little wee stalk. So we'll leave it growing, see what happens. So this was a leek. We stuck the roots back in to see if it would grow. Yeah, it did. It was just got hid behind all those peppers. So there's a wheelbarrow full of pepper plants that came out of that one bin. There's all the little pots with the roots. Look at the size of some of those stalks, eh? I'll lay one out here. There, look at that stalk. That's about as thick as your thumb. Maybe, well, even thicker than my thumb. That's what supported them. The 3 pepper plants that are on the right side here, I'm going to leave them grow just to see how long they can go. They've still got lots of peppers on them, so we'll see what happens. They're still growing really nice. So the other side all cleaned up and everything. There's another 101 peppers off that side pepper. So I think altogether there was like almost 300 peppers got. So thanks for watching.